Who's who in Salem? Well, we're about to break it all down for you right now on AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days, coming up now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello and happy Sunday, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin' Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of NBC's #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by our usual gaggle of gals. Starting to my far left, the lovely and beautiful real girl of our group.
Real girl.
Hey y'all, Tami Goveia here.
And of course, we have the other real gal of our group. No, I'm just
I am a real girl. I am. I swear. JK. Michael Mattis. The Michael Mattis.
Oh,
Not
the.
The. We've decided to put the in front of my name.
You are the Michael Mattis.
Exactly.
Okay, I can get down with
Not
that.
to be.
Not to be
Not to be confused with.
Just
Yeah.
Michael Mattis.
Often imitated. Often
Imitated,
never duplicate. There you go. Yep.
I got you. Thanks,
Something like
Mariah.
that.
And of course, thank you all
Darling.
to watching live and chatting with us. We are in the chat. If you aren't, you should be. And if you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on the social medias. We are at Dishin' Days on, at _ Dishin' Days on Twitter and Dishin' Days on Facebook and Instagram. I said it differently, so I switched myself up. We have a lot to go over today. We promised you guys, because all throughout the week, you guys have been giving us your nominations for our first annual Dishin' Days Awards. And today we have the official nominees list. So you'll have to tune in later to find out who it is. But before we get into that, what did you guys think of this week?
A lot of sex was had this week on the show. I
It's
noticed.
springtime.
I guess people getting hot.
People getting frisky.
You know.
There's love in the afternoon.
Yeah,
Very
loving
well.
all the time.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that's something I noticed. I was like, wow, a lot of people getting smushed this week. Yeah.
Getting busy with it. Sorry. Tammy?
So part of it is the week before, because we weren't here, the week
Right.
before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it goes into this week.
Yeah.
I'm loving Kayla and Steve. Like going from the heartbreak
gonna
of
cry.
the glasses. Oh my God, that was so hard.
And how we went
and with
blind,
the pain,
just
Yeah.
like
that
that.
was so hard.
Yeah.
And the scene with him and Steve and Trip was really touching.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then this week, him just proving to be the continuing badass.
Yeah.
Like it does not matter, especially when he comes face to face. Well, it's
Oh yeah,
with Stefan.
The whole reference.
Man.
They were referencing their he said like, oh, another life, another time. You remind me of an uncle. That was all like
Yeah.
General Hospital references, right?
It was it, or
Was
is
it?
this
Because
like
they
a,
were all-
a foreshadowing of maybe
Oh,
some other?
I
You're
thought-
trying to make the reference
Folks.
that they worked on General Hospital.
Yeah,
together.
and like Steve,
He's
Stephen
got so
Nichols
much
played
in
his
his head.
uncle, like the Cassadines, I think. Never watched General Hospital. I just remember seeing him on all the soap mags back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that whole.
that was it.
It was cute.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that touched me. I love that.
Well, I thought this
you.
week was very interesting. I am so intrigued with this Gabigail storyline.
Man.
They keep stepping it up like every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just gets, for lack of a better word, it just gets crazier.
Yeah.
How she became Dr. Laura in front of Marlena, which I
Right.
thought was great, and then she and Marlena having kind of like a bitchy conversation towards each other.
Well, before y'all are gonna give away all the secrets
know,
before
I know.
we even get to it. But now let's officially get into it. It's now time to start
Dishin'
Days. Set it and forget it. All right, so speaking of Gabigail, since that is all on our minds, we will start with that storyline this week. So basically, first of all, Monday started off with a continuation of Friday in a catastrophic way when Abigail or Dr. Laura said that Gabby confessed to killing Andre.
Yeah.
And then all throughout the week, we watch as Dr. Laura continues to take control of the situation, making sure that Gabby or Gabigail is in in check while protecting Abigail. And we've just seen the story just progress all this week. What are y'all's thoughts?
What I liked is
on it?
how they did the two personalities, Abby and Dr. Laura, talking to each other and fighting, and then all of a
You
sudden,
mean Gabby and
Gabby.
Dr. Laura?
yeah, who did I say?
Abby.
Abigail.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Gabby and Dr. Laura talking to each other. They're fighting over a key, the key, and then all of a sudden they're like, Abigail escaped, and then
Yeah.
we see Abby after she hit her head, like just
How they
bolt
did
into
that.
Marlena, and Marlena's office was like, I need help.
Yeah.
I was like, I was enthralled by it. Like I was on my computer making the graphics that you'll see later, and I was like, that whole episode, because then that was also the episode where Chad and Stefan had their
chess game.
which
So
was
good.
frustrated me. I'm
Yes.
like, you are not taking. I was like, Chad, you are not taking advantage of these question opportunities.
But I think what he was doing was he was getting up to that level instead of just blatantly asking like boom like the question. There were a couple of things he wanted to check off first before he got to the final, like, did you kill Andre? And he's like, no. And then he's like, well, who was the woman in the black hair? And Stefan, who is very smart, did wordplay and said her name is Gabby.
Yeah, he didn't say it was Gabby.
It was Gabby.
Her name is Gabby.
Her name is Gabby, and he hasn't
Or not.
And Chad
Oh
hasn't
yes,
picked
is
up
that,
on
what,
that.
is that what he said?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
not? I watched it
Or
3
not
times.
really.
Couldn't
But
figure
not
out what he was
really.
saying, so I moved on. But,
Yeah.
or not.
But
Then he got it. Okay.
Chad hasn't picked up on that. But what I am starting to like is that the one person that we think should realize that Abby isn't Abby is Chad.
Is Chad.
And so he's starting to pick up on, like, even when he looked at her on the stand, he described it as like there was nothing there.
Something
there was
in
something
her
in her
eyes.
eyes. There
Right.
wasn't something wasn't there. And he's so conflicted because you have Abigail, who's like, Gabigail, who said she confessed. You have Gabby, who's like, I didn't say that. And he's kind of stuck in the middle,
Yeah.
being like, well,
Who do I believe?
I'm supposed to believe my wife, but
yeah.
but I feel like he doesn't want to blatantly say, I don't believe you.
Right.
You know, without.
Or he did mention,
No.
or maybe she's being forced to lie.
Right.
Right. The
Right.
whole brainwashing, which
Yes.
is legitimate. That's
Yeah.
actually
Especially with the Demeras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really actually very good.
And I like how, like, the pieces of what's happening with Abigail are slowly coming
together,
about through everyone in like bits and pieces. And I was
Except
just,
Marlena, she just knows she knows exactly what's going on.
That moment was
Yeah.
so
Oh,
amazing.
the
That
mo-
was
yeah.
just oh
the
my
two
God, it was
doctors
so
going
good.
head to
Yeah.
head.
Yes,
That was so
was
good.
fantastic.
And I can't praise Marcy Miller enough. These transitions that she does are so flawless. Question: how many of y'all thought that Abigail had fought her way through?
Yeah.
With Marlena.
I had a moment. Like I wasn't sure who
No,
actually.
I
wasn't
didn't-
sure if she
I
was
didn't.
faking it.
I knew it. I was
No.
like, that's Dr. Laura. I never believe what you see on this show.
No, okay, well, y'all fans, y'all know me. I'm just a fan with open arms, and so I take what's given. I thought Abigail had fought her way through because even with the glasses, she was like, ugh,
No, when
like,
she first started, like my first thought was she's faking.
That's
Initially,
she's
I thought
faking.
too.
But then I thought, but what if she's not?
Yeah.
And then I got scared. Like, who's
Well, I mean, there was
who's
a-
going to come through?
yeah.
But the minute she composed herself and started talking, I'm like, oh my God, this is Dr. Laura. This isn't Abigail.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still thought it was Abigail because.
did you?
Because if you notice, her trigger for bringing Abigail back is extending a lot of love. So whoever Abigail has
You're
love
supported,
for,
you're
and
loved,
who,
right.
That's
Making
when
her feel
Abigail,
safe.
that's when Abigail comes out. Because
Okay.
remember when in Hong Kong when she listened to the voicemail from Chad and
Then
there
she
was
came
there
out,
was-
yeah. That's what-
and then Abigail came back out,
Right.
and so like I feel like each time there's like a hint of love besides the time where she escaped from the room while they were fighting. Love seems to bring Abigail out, and then Dr. Laura then goes back into gatekeeper mode to
And
like
it's
protect her.
interesting because I found myself like, who do I want? Do I want Dr. Laura to be running the show, or do I want Gabby to be out for?
Because they both
you
seem
know?
like
because it's just
they
kind
don't-
of
they-
fascinating.
It's fascinating, but they both don't seem to have like the Abby personality and the Dr. Laura personality. I don't know. They don't. Neither one seem like it would be neither one would seem more beneficial
Yeah.
than the other one.
Well, I think
don't-
Dr. Laura has to stay
because
his
she has to
seat
stay
of
in
power.
control, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it all goes.
So
to,
yeah, I guess that would be the better to have her
Yeah.
be Dr. Laura, because at least Dr. Laura, like
But I felt
the Gabby
it-
personality just seems very, very destructive.
It was fascinating to actually sit and watch and be a little fearful, like, oh my God, who's coming through?
Yeah.
Who is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
can't be Gabby. It can't be her because.
Well, because I feel like if Gabby were to come out, she wouldn't know how to finagle the situation, because Gabby wants to be a
She'd
real
go
life
run out-
person.
yeah.
She doesn't want to be an
Yeah.
alter. She wants to
Right.
be an actual real life person, where Dr. Laura is like, girl, we're alters. Like, you know, you're going to have to keep yourself in check.
Did you think Gabby was gonna take over? Like when they were fighting over the key, did you think there was a possibility that she was gonna take over Dr. Laura?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when Gabby punched Dr. Laura and was like, I got the key, and they still, I did not think like, oh, Abigail, get out, until they turned around and was like, I didn't unlock the door. And I was like, Abigail was like, bye, bitches, and like hit it, you know? So like, I like that we actually got to now see the internal conflict
Yeah.
that Abigail is having. And I like the fact that now she does realize there is something wrong. And, but unfortunately, she still doesn't know what's wrong.
What exactly it is?
But the scene with Dr. Laura and Marlena and them going toe to toe with their Dr.
Oh my
Facts and everything
God.
like that was
great.
Powerful.
But if you notice, Dr. Laura is slightly slipping, because while she remains so in control, I think that she's making some mistakes, such as saying that Gabby was the one that killed Andre on the stand. And even Stefan is kind of looking at her like, I think you're kind of losing it.
Well, she didn't say that to Marlena.
No.
No, but you're saying previously.
Yeah,
Right.
But even in Marlena questioning, like, well, what are you protecting Abigail from? Because and Marlena kind of being like, well, I know nothing happened in her childhood.
Right. Yes.
So then it must be something. So then what are you protect? And Dr. Laura
It's
was
not
like,
what happened to Abby. It's what Abby's done. to
Yeah.
someone else, and then Dr.
and Dr.
Laura.
Laura's like, you can tell she has the kind of moment. Yeah. So Emily Edwards in our chat room just said the Abby storyline is confusing. I think this is
You have to really pay close attention.
Yes, you have to pay very close attention, but again, the brilliance of Marcy Miller, she lets you know who she's playing.
Right.
Like in the way she talks, in the way she acts, in the way she is. It's very distinct which characters are coming through.
Did you see that Instagram photo she posted of herself on the couch with the script?
I did.
And she says, this isn't pretty, but this is what it looks like when,
yeah, she was like, the
when
the
you've got
struggle-
100 pages.
She was like, it's the struggle to
It's-
create
yeah,
some meaningful
What she
art.
say? I look hella busted.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Hashtag
she
Elabus.
as an actress, the writers, everyone is really, really stepped up.
And I'm
to
pretty sure
create
that's
a
taken, it
fantastic
has
story.
to take a toll on her just as
Oh,
an
I bet.
actress.
No
and
question.
Physically, just
No
like,
question.
yeah. So kudos to
Yeah.
Marcy. So we talked about Chess, we talked about Gabigail. Let's talk about the court. Well, actually, is that next? I'm so good. Yep, that's next. So Gabby's trial.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I am freaking out over this trial, because we all know that Gabby did not kill Andre. We also know that Trask is on the hunt for Gabby.
I love Melinda Trask when she's not being like lawyer, when she's being kind of flirty or being
Like
kind
she
of
was
like
with Stefan.
Yeah.
When she was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're hung up
exactly.
on someone. What's her name?"
No,
Who
and
is
even when
it?"
she went up to I was gonna call him Wally. That's not his
Justin.
name. Justin.
Justin.
Yeah.
When she went up
Don't
to
call him Ned.
I did. Is that a General Hospital reference? Okay.
Yes.
When she went up to him and just was kind of, I can't remember what she said,
I'm
but
gonna win.
yeah, something like that.
Win.
But she was just very like I don't want to say coy, but just kind of flirty. And I'm like, okay, I kind of like her now, because I didn't like her at 1st. I was like, this bitch on wheels, like.
Well, she is.
So
She
what
is.
are you freaking out about? That Gabby's
Just
gonna
that
actually
Gabby's gonna be.
That she's
I mean,
gonna
she's
be-
end up in the slammer?
Yeah. It's nerve wracking, and but in my notes I did list Gabby sit down, because she wasn't making herself look great by like
Right.
going up
the,
to
the outburst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
know,
all
but
that. It's
my
like-
God, you can't just sit. I mean, I can't blame
You gotta
her.
defend
I
yourself,
would
but
have lost my
you
mind
gotta defend
too.
yourself. But then right after, like in the jury's mind, after hearing the
I
confession, and
know.
then her like,
But you know, Gabby's full of fire.
or maybe they're smart jurors and they're gonna be like, wait, something's not right here, mistrial or something.
You should hope so, but we're all freaking out at the fact that it was less than 24 hours and they had the verdict.
And that usually, I think, I don't know, in real life or in soap world, if that means, if they come back quick, that usually means a
Well,
guilty
Justin,
verdict.
Justin even said that's not good.
Yeah.
That they did that. So
I do feel like if a guilty verdict, I would just think like that's kind of unreasonable to me in my mind. Like,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know how this is gonna play
But
out.
for her,
I mean, all the
not
evidence
to
is
go
against
to
Abby, so
jail-
it would make sense that they do a guilty. I don't know.
But for her not to go to jail, then everything's going to have to come out about Dr. Laura, and that's too soon for all that to come out,
Right.
right?
I'm just disappointed because I looked at the time that was left on days on Friday.
Oh, I know, and I was like, we're getting the verdict. We're getting
Yeah,
the.
and
No.
I was like, because I think when it first popped back on, it was Steve. And no offense, but I was like, okay, go. Like I
wanna
want
get
to
to
hear
the
the verdict.
verdict, yeah.
And then of course he opens it and looks up, and then it's like, shh. And I'm like, you darn hourglass, get out of the way. You mean to tell me I have to wait till Monday?
It's like, no!
I need to know now. I gotta talk about this tomorrow.
There's two ways they can do. There's two ways they can do a cliffhanger like that.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger can either be we don't get the answer and we have to wait for the answer, or
Yeah.
it could be we get the answer and then we have to wait to see the fallout. So this time they chose not to reveal the
Yeah.
verdict.
Yeah. Well,
And it's a little frustrating.
oh, it's gonna be a lot. And poor Gabby can't get the support that she
I
needs
know.
because everybody. Rafe wasn't able to be there because he was dealing with something.
Eli can't be there.
Eli can't be there anymore after all the outbursts, and Lonnie can't
I mean,
be there.
Sonny's
JJ
there, but no, Sonny's
Sonny
all
and
caught
Will
up with
are-
Leo,
are-
so.
Well, no, well,
getting,
Sonny
you know.
couldn't be there either because remember, there was something that happened with Titan,
Right.
And so he was like, "I'm sorry, I can't be." So basically,
Right, nobody's been there for her.
No, yeah, except Justin. Someone,
And Chad.
Daquan said, Justin is the worst lawyer ever.
Yet he's world renowned.
He said Justin didn't call a single witness to defend Gabby.
Right.
But here's the thing. Justin explained because that's when Gabby was like, I wanna get on the stand. Call me to the stand.
That was
Call me to the stand.
I love that moment because
And
I
he was
really
like,
was
"No."
yelling at the TV, "Do not go on the
Yeah.
stand."
And
it was her call.
And I think she was ready. And then I think I love that it was a nonverbal
Right.
agreement. Like, and
that.
she was just like,
Yeah.
no, I
was
don't
like-
want to do it. I mean, I was split too. I was like, girl, fight. And then I
Yeah.
was like,
No.
but if Justin is saying no because it's going to look desperate, then don't.
Yeah. Because Melinda would have just buried her.
Yeah. Oh my God. This
I know.
is so much. It's so much. I don't.
That's only the first storyline, by the way. Well, kind of the layers of the first storyline.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's exhausting.
I really didn't like when Dr. Laura was like, Gabby, I'm sorry. She also confessed that she killed Andre. I was like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? But again, I kind of feel like her doing that shows that she's not really Abigail. I think it was that moment to kind of get those wheels turning that like, you're not playing this role as well as you could be, Dr. Laura.
That's the only
okay.
choice she had. She has to have Gabby take the fall to protect Abigail.
Because
That's
Abigail
the
can't handle
only
the fact,
option
can't
she
handle what
has.
she did. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Let's see. Daquan said, Tony, don't you think Justin could have brought up Abigail's mental issues to discredit her? He did kind of bring up the issues because when she was having the headache and stuff like that, I think he had mentioned when you had your breakdown and then when so he already kind of brought it up.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I know.
don't know. Next week it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. All right, let's move on to the next thing. We covered everything, right?
Yes.
Sound like we did? All right. JJ, Lonnie, and Eli. Might as well add Abe.
And Valerie.
And Valerie.
Yeah. So yeah, initially Abe's reaction,
I thought it was a little
like I get him wanting to protect his
much,
daughter,
yeah.
but his reaction really
he
upset me.
It upset me.
Like, back off.
I was like, okay, that's a little extreme, dude. But you know what? He came around really quickly
Yeah.
in that conversation
Well,
with John.
only after John.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and,
and sometimes
and I
that's what it
actually like
takes,
that.
Yeah.
John had the conversation with
Yeah.
Abe, and then who had the conversation with Valerie?
When?
And just like, everybody needs to work everything out.
Right. They had two conversations happening over each other.
Yeah.
But they were basically saying the same thing. It was John
No,
and
Marlena.
Abe.
I think
Oh,
Marlena.
Marlena gave Valerie
Valerie
advice.
that's right.
And
Okay,
John,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
had John and Marlena giving advice to Abe and Valerie,
Yeah.
which I
Oh.
thought was fantastic.
I didn't
Yes.
put that together. But
Yeah, it was
yeah.
so great.
What I did not like was how Lonnie tried to flip the script and make it seem like Valerie had done something wrong.
She was being a
Right.
petulant child.
Well,
was just a very
That was her defense.
like,
That was her defense
daddy,
mechanism coming
daddy,
through. Like
daddy.
blame somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not my fault. She went through my files. Well, she went through your files because you were lying.
Because there was a suspicion.
Because you were telling
suspect.
stories. Yeah.
You were suspectical. Tammy, what were you going to
let
say?
me look that up. I don't remember what I was going to say. No, I think,
Welcome to Mark J. Freeman's seat.
I know it's a black void.
Yeah.
It's the black hole here.
And I kind of at the end of the day, it wasn't for Valerie to expose Lonnie.
No.
I think Valerie did make a point to be like, yes, you need to tell my son that this is his child. And that was the only pressure that she gave Lonnie. But I think at the end of the day, it was Lonnie who should have went to Abe and said,
Absolutely.
"This
Oh,
is
yeah.
what's
Should
happening."
have stepped up.
Because I think Lonnie would have been upset if Valerie had went to Abe and told herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like how everyone was being all
Anti-Valerie.
No
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what Valerie would have done,
But later
different
in the
choices,
week-
she would have gotten just.
Oh yeah. Well, later in the
slammed.
week, Lonnie kind of made up for that when she wanted Valerie to stay
was
with her.
sweet,
It was kind
right?
of
I like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of like
Like, I
that
can depend on you
the
to be
overreactions
true.
that I didn't agree with were kind of resolved by the end of the week. I'm like, oh okay, everything's getting cool now
Yeah.
with that.
yeah.
And then the scene with JJ and
Eli.
JJ and Eli, yeah, where JJ basically said, you need to be the
Be
the father that be the dad that I
was
wanted to
planning
be.
Sad,
Yeah,
yeah.
And it gives a lot of you got to give a lot of credit to JJ.
Yeah.
Like JJ, he can be my baby daddy.
Will he buy a ton of furniture?
As long as he buys the
Very
two
deep,
tricycles.
very deep
Right.
inside.
Well, I think that was a nice moment that I have no idea where that went.
That's what she said.
All I heard was deep inside, and then you shot a look,
And then you said, I don't know where that went.
I was
you
like,
know?
I'm not even gonna ask what happened on that
What
side
happened
of the
was-
table.
Furniture. It's all about furniture.
So I like that there was a moment between JJ and Eli. Just JJ kind of accepting the fact that he's not going to be a dad.
Yeah.
And Eli kind of being like, I'm going to do my best. But there's a part of me that like feels like Eli wants to include JJ.
But I feel like if that's true, he wants to include JJ maybe to like take some of the pressure off of himself to be a
No.
father.
I
You know
don't know
what
if
I
he
mean by
wants
that? Like
to include him.
I don't want to say pawn the kid off on JJ, but there was I felt like there was a moment where there was hesitation on Eli's part, like to be the father to this kid. Know what I mean? Anyone?
I think you might be solo on that.
Oh, okay.
There was a moment that I really loved when JJ said to Eli, the fact of the matter is you didn't trust Gabby enough to be honest with her and confront her about you thinking she had slept with me. You instead decided to sleep with Lonnie. Instead of if you're in a relationship with someone and you suspect something, you ought to have that kind of relationship where you confront them first before you go sleeping with somebody. And
Seems logical.
I know, and it was the flip side too. Lonnie didn't trust JJ enough to have a conversation with him either.
Right.
You know, so Lonnie and Eli both, like, what does that really say about the relationships?
But I think it's when you're in a moment like that, we all see something and make our own story. And it may not
Yeah, but
necessarily
you
be
also
that.
have that moment of like, oh, excuse me.
Right. Right. Now
Let me just
I would
bust
have
this
I would have
open.
I would have been like, hello, what's
Yeah,
going on up in here?
exactly.
You know what I mean? But again, we're talking about soap, so
I
I
know,
gotta
but
make it a little more
still.
dramatic. But I did like what he said about just no one questioning,
Yeah.
because Eli should have been like, are you sure? And maybe should have been the one to knock on the door and be like, so what's going on here?
Yeah.
And maybe that never would have happened. So yeah, it does say a lot about trust and a lot about, their relationships and things like that. The other thing that was a moment was when Lonnie was just kind of like, the baby would be a reminder of
Right,
was
like she was almost talking about like
so
getting rid of it.
painful.
Yeah.
and I
know.
was almost like,
That
can
really
you
surprised
imagine
me.
for
Yeah.
That surprised me
years,
too.
That
like
surprised me.
like looking at this baby and being like, that one night,
Yeah.
and now I'm stuck with
Yeah.
you. But I think she clarified it like
it was an honest moment.
yeah, like
It's an honest moment.
she's not
Not to be
going
judged.
to love the baby, but there's just a moment of like, this is a constant reminder of what we did and how everything was ruined.
Yeah.
And then these sharp pains in the stomach worry me every time. But I like that she's now been diagnosed. She's now at a high risk pregnancy, and it's called like placenta something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I always like when they like throw out a new medical thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, who is the medical person at Days?
The
Like,
consultant.
The consultant,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
somebody on the set.
Like, who's like, okay, boom, don't give her a miscarriage, give her this, and
Right.
they're like,
and it's
oh,
it's
yeah.
actually a perfect scenario because it could resolve itself on its own, or
Right.
it couldn't.
Or it could,
it
yeah.
might not. So it leads for a very interesting story going forward. Like,
Yeah.
which direction is it going to go in? And I also love the fact that Lonnie went from, this is going to be a reminder, to when there was something wrong. She was very upset about, is there something wrong with my babies or something?
Yeah.
Right.
So I
They kind of
love,
snapped her out of that.
yeah, I love just that real human arc of just feeling all sorts of different feelings about this situation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she does care about this child. And
exactly.
she wants the best for the child, and she wants the best for everybody.
And so does Eli, and so does Valerie, and
Yeah.
so does Abe, and just how they all rallied off of everyone.
Yeah.
I thought was like really good.
I love the support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's scary.
But when also, I feel bad for almost saying this out loud.
What?
When she was having the sharp pains, and I thought, oh, they're gonna miscarry the baby.
Right.
And then there was a moment where I was gonna be like, "Phew, well,
That would just tie up things.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're done with this."
Yeah.
I feel bad for
I
thinking
know.
that.
But
I'm wondering who else is kind of thinking that.
because I think everyone's got different feelings about, do they want to see this whole storyline come out where she actually
Right.
does have the baby and then the baby's a real part of Salem and blah, 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 or not.
Yeah,
Right.
So
There's so much.
you just don't know.
I'm telling you, Days of Our Lives is putting people through it.
Yeah.
Like
And it's not predictable.
it's not.
It's not
No,
predictable,
no.
right?
Someone in here, I don't know which storyline they were talking about, but they were like, it seems predictable. I'm like, these storylines have had so many twists and turns.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I'm not finding it predictable.
It's not as predictable as it used to be.
Fun loving KY. Stop it. Said they would love to
Premature.
see Gabby and JJ together again.
Yeah, they were cute. I'm a Jabby. Is that their ship name, Jabby?
Maybe.
I'm a Jabby because they're really cute together.
Oh wow.
I thought they did really good.
I-
they were a really cute couple.
I like them doing Halo 2.0. Colleen said, and
Hi, Colleen.
thank you for putting this out there, Colleen. She said she had that, but it corrected itself. As far as
Okay.
yeah. So interesting. Okay.
That's great.
All right.
I mean, they're
there's-
just
there's
not
hope.
making up.
They're
no.
just making up
I never.
stuff.
Be-
Even with the DID, like this is a
Yeah.
real
Even though
scenarios.
I never look up anything that any of these medical things that they come up with. I just assume like there's got to be a medical consultant
There's
on there.
something,
Like
yeah.
they're not just making
Yeah.
stuff
No.
up. Yeah.
No. But Scott said no to Gabby and JJ.
Oh,
Interesting.
I'm liking Lonnie and Eli.
Lonnie and Eli. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're good together.
Maybe just because we had them on the show.
I
Especially.
mean, maybe because they were just fun people to have around.
Yeah.
No, they.
And I
they
like
have
that
they have a good
moment in the
chemistry
hospital
together.
where he was telling her that story about, oh, you know, we were undercover and she was laughing
Yeah.
at his story and seeing that kind of rapport between them is so rare because there's always been so much tension between the two of them.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah.
Nice reminder.
I agree. All right. Well, that has been your top 3 storylines, but the fun doesn't stop there.
Oh no, never,
Michael,
ever.
tell us what other fun can be had outside.
You can
of
have fun
AfterBuzz
and you
TV.
can learn and you can grow in all areas of your life.
Love it.
For those who need to or want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, there is a podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos, Podcast Edition, is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder, Maria Menounos, and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health and wellness to career and relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you never had. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free.
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 Be sure to rate and comment on when you do let Maria know it was us who got you there.
Dishin' Days.
So comment that it was Dishin' Days. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition on iTunes. Check it out now.
Woohoo!
It's for free.
For free. All right. Now let's move on to some tidbits. And the first kind of big tidbit, what?
Tidbits. I'm in a silly mood today. Sorry. I'm just giggly.
You know why he's giggly? Because he spent all that money, so he has to laugh. He has to laugh it off.
He'll cry.
Right. So the big tidbit this week was Leo and Sonny.
I love Leo so
Me too.
much.
The scenes between
Oh
Leo
my
and Vivian
gosh.
are I enjoyed just the
Yes.
little scenes between them and how he was like. There was a moment where he was like, you know, you remind me a lot of my grandmother,
And she kind of gave
just
this
goes
look like,
and
excuse me?
but then he took it back and was like, I mean my mother.
And it was like, oh, that's better. You know what? I'm starting to think that he isn't fully aware of Vivian's plan.
I don't
Not
think so
even
either.
close.
No, I think he's
He's-
getting it as he needs.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a phrase for that. I can't think of it now. But
Is it unfurls or?
yeah, like she's just giving him like she's not giving him the
The
full
necessary
plan. She's just giving
information.
him like what he needs to know
Yeah.
now,
Right.
what he needs to do now.
And I loved when he and Sonny were going out to dinner, and Sonny was really explaining to him what that
Yeah.
evil person is really
Yeah.
like, because he has no concept.
Right.
No.
He,
He doesn't know
really
who
has
Vivian
no
is.
idea what he's gotten himself
Right.
into,
No.
what he's chosen to accept, the mission that he's chosen to
Yeah.
accept.
But I also
So-
think that he actually likes Sonny.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
he's actually making a connection with Sonny, and especially a connection
I suppose
with
a connection.
Sonny.
Yeah.
Let me also.
It was
point-
never explicit. Wait, was it ever explicitly said that they slept together?
Oh,
Or was
They
clearly.
went up the stairs.
If he was there the next
Well,
morning,
maybe that doesn't mean they. You know.
What?
I mean,
what did you say at the top of this show?
a lot of people had sex. There was a lot of sex happening.
So you gonna leave them out of
But
it?
now I'm questioning it. Now I'm thinking like we didn't see it. They never explicitly said, "Oh, we slept together." It was just he spent the night.
Well, ladies never tell.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm just putting it. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Well, it was definitely implied. Do you see how much stuff
Well,
he was
definitely
putting on that
implied.
plate the next morning?
Oh, because he was hungry.
They were both
And they were
hungry.
both
Munchies.
happy.
They
Okay.
both
okay,
worked
they were
up
both
an
happy.
appetite.
And Adrian was happy for them.
Right.
I love
One
that.
of my favorite moments of the week was on Friday when she was just like when Leo came in and it was clear. Okay, fine, it was clear what had happened.
Right.
And she was just like,
Yeah. Like
it's
she's
just,
super
I had to watch
excited.
it again. It was
She
cute.
just
It was
wants
funny.
her baby to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, my baby got laid.
Well, they were all getting laid in that house. I'm glad, that must be a big
There's
mansion.
something in the water.
Yeah.
The Kariakis Mansion water.
Mm-hmm.
So what we found out was that Leo apparently was a temp at Titan and just got offered a full-time position. So
Was he really a temp, or was that just a story?
I don't know.
See, I don't know either.
Because it's not like Sonny would know if he was a temp there or not.
No, he wouldn't.
Because he's kind of been removed from the company for a little bit. Like he's been dipping and dabbing. So I think now it makes sense to me. Because remember, Vivian's plan was like, get him in bed ASAP.
Yeah.
And then by second, third date, it happened. And she's like, excellent. And then now you're going to do this. You know, or now this is going to happen. So I think this is all part of the plan. But how many were upset when Paul was sitting there all day, and then the second he decides to leave is when Leo walks in, and he could have seen them interact.
What's Vivian's plan?
I don't think we don't really know.
What is it? What do you think
it hasn't been revealed to I do think it was mentioned somewhere, either on the show or I read it online, that it's a plot to get Victor back for rejecting her.
Well,
it's something to take down the Kiriakis.
It's not as simple as breaking Sonny's heart. It's
no, because that wouldn't make
more
like that would just be like being vindictive to be vindictive. Like what would her point? There's a bigger agenda here.
Right.
It's not 100% clear what that agenda is, but she's starting with Sonny.
It could also have, I don't know. There's speculation because with the wanting him to sleep with Sonny and now being at Titan, there's like a little bit of scandal because now he's fraternizing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Company policy.
Right. So maybe that may have to end, or maybe she plans on revealing that they're sleeping together.
That could be.
To take him down.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I guess so.
We'll find out eventually.
Yeah. So there's that. Love the moment with Will and Paul. And like how, interacting with guys was a thing for them.
I love that they're just having conversations. And
The pillow talk
goes back to what we were talking about of the storylines just focusing on the relationships.
Right.
And they're just having a conversation.
They are kind of in what I consider to be the boring part, where they're happy. The boring part is always when they're happy for me.
Why is that boring?
Because they're happy. There's no drama.
Let them be
But
happy.
you know it's not going to last.
I'm letting them be happy. I'm just saying my opinion.
But no,
is
I have
it's
this
boring.
image of you just kind of going, okay.
I think it's cute.
You have to enjoy the moment because it's not going to last.
I think it's cute. I love it.
You are cynical and bitter, man.
I watched the show for the drama. If there's no drama, I accept it.
She's so mad about them countries.
Stop it.
Okay, so then there's that. I love seeing Will and Paul growing together. That's very cute.
I'm so happy they're together.
We touched on this a little bit. Steve and Kayla. We're just seeing Steve kind of go through his sudden blindness. I like that he's still just trying to keep this everything is fine kind of a moment, and I'm just going to deal with this. And I think everyone else is kind of tiptoeing around him. That's just my thing.
That's okay, though.
Yeah.
That's
he'll
okay.
be fine. He'll be resilient. And then Jen and Eric had a cute date night with each other, and I thought that was cute, and the whole romantic comedy and then and all of that.
Boring for you, I know, because there's no drama.
Slowly growing.
Not a romantic.
Not romantic. It's not romantic.
The couple is slowly growing for me. Slowly.
Yeah. That's always been their pace.
Yeah.
Just
slowly.
Slow and steady.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race. Never mind. I was going to reference myself, but I think by now I should have won the race. All right, and that has been the week of days.
Oh, yes.
And now it's time
I'm exhausted.
Now it's time for our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. Okay. It's okay. There we go. All right. Okay, so there were a lot of snap-worthy moments.
I don't know how you chose.
There was.
That's tough.
There was. I almost. Oh, when Will and Paul were in bed together, and he mentioned the article that Will wrote, I almost wanted Will to say, "Well, I was a different person back then."
Oh.
Get it? Because it was played by Guy Wilson.
It's so funny.
So one of the moments that I thought would be snap worthy was the conversation with Marlena and Dr. Laura.
I could rewatch that scene
That
over
the
and over
scenes
again.
over
My God.
and over again. I also
And I liked it that they didn't have Marlena kind of be like, how to put this, like she gave it back to Dr. Laura,
Right.
even though she knew like it's Abigail.
Right.
But and I guess that's just part of her being,
She knows
the
how to-
psychologist. She knows how to deal
Yeah.
with. Like
Work
she
this.
was, throwing shade as much as Dr. Laura was. She wasn't holding back, I guess.
Well,
I like that.
Someone who was not holding back this week with their facial expressions, who gets my 3 Snaps award, is Valerie Grant. Because let me tell you, when Lonnie tried to come for her, and then Abe, all her face kept reading was like. It was almost like her internal monologue was, I know this hoe ain't trying to
Like, you have got to be
like, are you
kidding me.
serious?
Right.
Yes, so Tony's official 3 Snaps award goes to Valerie Grant for her I know this hoe didn't face throughout the week. So there we go.
Hey.
All right. Tammy, are you ready for your
I'm ready.
for your
I
intro?
actually haven't. So yeah.
You haven't heard
I
it?
haven't.
No,
I didn't listen to mine either.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
Well, now it's time for
Oh my God. I
you go.
kid you not, Tony. I have been giving this thought and thinking, oh, if I could get if I could incorporate something,
I had
You.
that. I had that in my head
What
the
is
whole
that?
time.
Oh my gosh.
So there you
Thank
go.
you.
There's your intro.
Woohoo!
Hey!
That's fantastic. Okay, so look, so this goes back, a couple of weeks ago. At first, I wasn't sure how I really felt about this dress on her, but then it's really actually an amazing piece, and it's from Guess, actually. So it's not a super. Thank you very much. On Marcy Miller, it's a dress from Guess. It's called Women's Short Sleeve Kenley Ruffle Sweater Dress.
Nice.
And it's interesting because if you watch her at the beginning of the week, like when they first get to Hong Kong, okay, so you see she's not wearing a bra. Marcy's not wearing a bra. Toward the end or the beginning of the following week, she's wearing a black bra. You can see the strap. So it's one of those dresses where, and she was constantly adjusting it during the scenes. So it's not one of those pieces that I think might be super comfortable to wear, because you kind of have to make sure that everything's in place.
Yeah. You got to set it and forget.
You got to set it and forget it. But, you got options, and it's awfly cute.
It is.
It's a cute dress. She looked good in it
rocked
too.
it.
Yeah.
She did.
It's got cutout on the sides. I don't know if you can notice that. But you can jump on beds with this dress.
Yeah.
You can do all
You
sorts
can lay
of
in
fun
bed.
things.
You can become multiple people.
You
in
You
this
can
dress.
become a
you
totally
can
different person
become
in this dress.
Anyone you want to be.
Yeah.
Or
in
whoever
this
Dr.
guest
Laura
dress.
says you should be.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you, Marcy Miller.
And that has been I love this so much.
Oh.
Ah! And now
He's very proud of himself.
I
As
am a
he
little
should
bit.
be.
And now it's time for Caption That.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like hers better.
Oh.
Well, excuse him.
He wants
No,
some
it's
soundtrack
good.
to it.
No, I kid. Thank you, Tony, for,
You're welcome.
for doing that for me, since I was not able to do it myself for 5 weeks. Anyway, so this week's Caption That winner is Shay Hunter Thompson on Facebook, saying, Vivian is saying, will I ever be able to drink a martini without checking it for false teeth?
Oh.
I love it.
And I love Shay because she posted a video of what she was referencing for anyone that didn't get it. It's a reference to way back when Susan was imitating Kristen, and she was found out because
Oh, because the teeth
The
flew
teeth
out.
fell out.
the teeth flew across the table and landed in Vivian's martini glass.
Okay. Now
Kudos
I get
to
it.
that.
If you want to
Okay.
look it up, it's on the YouTube.
Okay.
It's on the YouTube.
It's on,
It's on
the
the
YouTube.
YouTube.
Like
It's on the YouTube.
The Michael Mattis. It's on
the
the
You-
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the YouTube. Go look it up. Look it up.
Well, that has been
That's a Polaroid. Is that a
That's what
sound
I
of
was
a
thinking.
Polaroid?
I was like, ooh, vintage. I like it a lot.
And now it's time for
Mark's Quote of the Week.
that we don't have. So now, because Mark J. Freeman has been traveling, so she ain't got time for us. So now we're going to go into
Edition Days Fan of the Week. Woohoo!
these segment intros are the most
They are
fun,
fabulous.
ridiculous things ever. All right, Tammy, hit us with our fan of the week.
Fan of the week is going to CJ at NewC11. CJ says, kudos to at Carla Vateron. It's hard to pronounce Ron's.
Uh-huh.
Ron, the writer.
Ron, the writer, head writer, and the Days of Our Lives writers for their focus on integrating legacy characters with relatively new ones. I love seeing Deidre Hall and Marcy Miller go tete-a-tete. Keep it up, Edition Days and Days of Our Lives. And that's something that we were talking about. We love seeing those scenes.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's great.
So thank you, CJ.
Edition Days Fan of the Week. Woohoo!
And now it's time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, fans, you have anxiously been awaiting this moment. We here at Edition Days decided that, you know what, the daytime Emmys may be able to give out awards, but we can too.
And
So
we're not judgy enough, I
Yeah.
feel. So this is a way for us to be more judgy.
This is true.
I'm just kidding. We're very judgy.
And it's also a way for us to acknowledge those who have been doing excellent
Yes.
on our favorite soap opera Days of Our Lives. So we have decided to create the first annual Edition Days Awards. We will now announce the official nominees, and you guys will decide who the winners are. You have up until April 20th to lock in your vote. And we will announce the winners on April 22nd, which is a week before the Daytime Emmys.
Yes.
So earlier, if you guys have been following us on our social medias, we gave out the categories that we are going to, or that we were looking for nominations for. And here are our official nominations.
So we are going to start with Best New Character. The nominees are Vanessa Williams, Valerie, Lamone Archie, Eli, Lucas Adams plays Trip, and of course Tyler Christopher, Stefan O. Demira. So
Oh,
those are the
yeah.
4 nominees for Best New Character. Up next, category is Most Shocking Moment. This was actually really fun, like reading people's responses to this. So Most Shocking Moment nominees goes to Abigail Kills Andre. Woo, that was a good one. JJ shoots Theo. Ben crashes the double wedding.
That was good. Good
Will
stuff.
is alive. And there's actually 5. 5th nominee is, of course, John Poison Steve. So we have 5 nominees for Most Shocking Moment.
We also have 5 nominees for our Best Couple Award. The nominees are Chad and Abigail, Will and Paul, Eve and Brady, Kate and Andre, and Steve and Kayla. So good luck to all of y'all. And then Best Character Return, because we had a lot of them this year.
We did.
We've had a lot of
It
them
wasn't
this year.
until we kind of broke it down. I was like, oh
And
my
we
gosh.
kept forgetting when in our chat, like, we had a solid list, and then we're like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
So-and-so came back. Oh, yeah. So this one probably was the most we went back and forth on. So we settled with Vivian, Louise Sorrell, Will, Chandler Massey, Susan, Kristen, Sister Mary Myra, all et al., Eileen Davidson, Sammy, Allison Sweeney, and Ben, Robert Scott
Yeah.
Wilson. That's for Best Character Return. So have fun with that.
And now we have 2 more categories. We have the Best Actor in a Multiple Role category. We have Deidre Hall as Marlena and Hattie. Eileen Davison as Kristen Susan and Sister Mary Morena. Marcy Miller as Abigail, Gabigail, and Dr. Laura. And also Judy Evans as Adrian and Bonnie. Those are your official nominees for Best Actor in a multiple role.
Congratulations, everybody, and good luck.
And
There's
we have one more.
One more category.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself.
And
Sorry.
of course, we've had some knockdown, drag out fights, so we had to figure out who had the best fight. We have Eric versus Brady.
Yeah.
Sierra versus Claire.
Yeah.
Eve versus Brady. Abigail versus Ben, and Eric versus Xander.
There's so many great fights.
So many great fights.
Drama.
Eric and Brady, whenever they fight, it is a brawl.
Yeah.
Like things get broken, and I don't know if it's just because those two actors are capable of doing that, and I don't know if it was really them doing their own fighting. It seemed like it was really them, but they just throw each other down, and it's happened multiple times.
There's some knockdown, drag out fights.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we have our other segment awards that we are going to decide individually who to give those to.
Yes.
So we have the Snaps for Life Award. That's me. The Best Kodak Moment.
That's me.
Our Most Quotable Character, which Mark will give out. And then our Style Icon Award.
C'est moi.
Yes. So we will make sure you guys go to all of our social media pages. There will be a link to a survey so that you can officially vote for your favorite nominees in the category of Best Actor in a Multiple Role, Best Fight, Best Character Return, Best New Character, Best Couple, and Most Shocking Moment. Again, we will announce the winners officially on April 22nd right here on Dish and Days, a week before the official Daytime Emmys.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and more news and gossip very quickly as we have under 2 minutes. On June 30th, is the new date for the Stargazer event that I will be hosting. It was originally for April 21st. They had to move the date to June 30th. It will still be in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can go to stargazerevents.org for ticket information. Myself will be there along with Billy Flynn, Galen Gehring, Marcy Miller, Brian Datillo, and newly added Eric Martzoff. So if you would like to, if you would like to meet your favorite day stars, make sure you head over to stargazerevents.org and get your ticket information and come meet us all in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to do all of them. Okay. So fine.
No, I can do a couple.
We also have our friend to the show, Jen Lilly, will debut a new movie on Lifetime tonight called Evil Doctor.
It was debuted last night.
Oh, last night.
But they're rerun. They debuted it last night, but they're rerunning
They rerun it all the
My
time.
husband and I watched a little bit of it.
She plays twins.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah. So make sure you check Lifetime for listings and support our friend Jen Lilly. And speaking of friends, our friend, Kevin Spiritas, his new... he's going to hate me for saying his name like that. Kevin Spiritas, his new web series After Forever launches on Amazon April 24th. You can watch the trailer at afterforevertheseries.com.
And this is really great because people have actually been tweeting, can we find reels, for the actors and their submissions for the Emmys? So Emmy submission reels for several nominees have been posted on the Emmy Awards YouTube channel. You can check them out at youtube.com. /users/Emmys/videos.
That's a long one, but you can
check
find
out the
it.
reels.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat already said, I went to Tony's Twitter account and I couldn't find where to vote. We will post the link.
This is
right
just the
after
announcement.
show. Yeah. We didn't want to put the link out before we made the official announcement.
Right.
So check Facebook and Instagram Dish and Days or @_Dish and Days on Twitter for the link right after this show. And that's it, y'all. We made it through another recap.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And before we head out, Tami, let them know where they can find you on the social media.
So on social media, Twitter @Tami Goveia, Facebook and Instagram, Tami Goveia Official.
And you can find me, the Michael Mattis, on the Instagram @MLMattis and on the Twitter @MLMattis1.
And we hope that you got, before I say that, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounger with Tony or my website, loungerwithtony.com. You know where to find the show on social media because I've said it so many times. Also, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we really hope that you like the nominees for our first annual Edition Days
Exciting.
Awards.
Yeah.
And keep talking to us throughout the week. We will see you next Sunday for another full recap of your favorite #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives, right here on AfterBuzz TV. Have a good night,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Have a good week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.